Hi everybody, it's Miss Mitchell here, coming to you live from the hammock. Ew. Rocking my new t-shirt. It says Knights Track, since I was a coach for our very short season this year. But nonetheless, we still got shirts and sweatshirts, which is cool. Beautiful day outside. Hope you're able to enjoy the weather wherever you're at. Enjoy some sunshine. It is gorgeous. All right, we are here with Encyclopedia Brown, and our new case today is the case of the hungry hitchhiker. Is anybody else hungry right now? I know I am. I forgot to have breakfast. I might do it after this video. But anyways, we have a hungry hitchhiker that Encyclopedia is going to have some sort of out. So here we go. Detective. Connection is unstable. Hopefully it's okay. Hopefully you can hear me, see me all good. Hopefully you're ready to think like a detective. Put together the clues and the pieces. So here we go. Encyclopedia had a good time in Texas, but for many days after his return to Idaville, he did not ride his bike. It felt too much like a horse. In the mornings, he used his brains to solve cases in the Brown garage. Afternoons, he used his feet. Usually, he walked down to Mill Creek and fished with some of the gang, Billy and Jody Turner, Pinky Plummer, Herb Stein, Charlie Stewart, and Sally Kimball. On a very hot evenings, Chief Brown drove by Mill Creek and gave Encyclopedia a lift home. "Boy, this feels great," said Encyclopedia one evening as he climbed into the air-conditioned patrol car. "It must be 90 degrees out." "93," said his father. Just then, the police radio blared. Sergeant Murphy's voice came from headquarters. He announced the news of a holdup. The First Federal Savings and Loan Association had been held up 10 minutes ago. The four masked bandits had escaped in a blue sedan. The car was last seen racing north on National Highway. Sergeant Murphy signed off. Immediately, Encyclopedia's father picked up the two-way speaker. "This is Chief Brown," he said. "I'm at the corner of Mill and Commerce Streets. I'll go directly to National Highway. Send cars 4 and 5 out by the Midland Road. Also, telephone the police in Allentown, Morrisville, and Devon Hills. Have them be on the lookout for the getaway car." Chief Brown put back the speaker. He swung the car about and speeded up. Encyclopedia could feel his heart beating faster. He had never been on a real cops and robbers chase before. "We can't overtake them," said his father. "They have too big a head start. I'm hoping that somebody saw what road they took." Chief Brown steered onto National Highway. He drove north, the direction that the holdup men were reported to have taken. Ahead, Encyclopedia made out a hitchhiker standing at the crossroads of the highway and Coconut Drive. He was a young man with a knapsack over one shoulder. "If the getaway car passed this way, that hitchhiker must have seen it," said Encyclopedia. "He may have," replied Chief Brown. "It would depend on how long he has been standing there." Chief Brown braked to a stop beside the hitchhiker. "How long have you been standing here?" he asked. "About an hour," answered the hitchhiker. "Did a blue car with 4 or 5 men in it speed past you?" "It sure did," said the hitchhiker. And there's a picture of the hitchhiker and Chief Brown asking him some questions. "So it sure did," said the hitchhiker. "It came from the same way you did and turned here. Gosh, it nearly ran me down. Those fellows were in a mighty big hurry." "You'd better climb in," said Chief Brown. The hitchhiker stared at Chief Brown's uniform. "Gosh," he said, "is it against the law to hitchhike? Are you taking me to jail?" "Climb in," said Chief Brown. "Don't worry. I want you as a witness. If we catch up with a blue car, could you tell whether the driver was the same one who nearly ran you down?" "Yes, I know his face," said the hitchhiker, getting into the back seat. As Chief Brown sped the engine, he talked over the two-way radio again. "Murphy, I'm heading east to Coconut Drive," he said. "Heave the bug. Sorry. ah, I'm heading to East on Coconut Drive, he said. Have the Allentown police stop all cars. We might catch the holdup men before they leave the state. In the back seat, the hitchhiker had opened his knapsack. Care for an orange? He asked Encyclopedia. Or a piece of chocolate? Can I have a piece of chocolate, Dad? Asked Encyclopedia. You'll ruin your dinner. But this is not exactly the time to talk about it, said Chief Brown. Go ahead. Encyclopedia took the chocolate bar from the hitchhiker. He broke off 2 squares and handed back the rest. The hitchhiker put the candy into his knapsack. He got out an orange and began to peel it. He put the peels neatly into a paper bag. Encyclopedia moved the chocolate under his tongue. He hardly tasted it because suddenly he was scared. He dug into his pocket and came up with a stub of a pencil. There was nothing to write on, however. Dad, could I have another piece of chocolate? He asked. His father nodded. The hitchhiker gave a friendly laugh and passed over the candy bar. Encyclopedia popped the chocolate into his mouth, slowly and carefully, so the hitchhiker couldn't see. He spread the wrapper on his leg. He wrote, "The hitchhiker is a member of the hold-up gang." Then he worked the paper over the front seat till it was on his father's lap. His father glanced down, and then he returned his gaze to the road. A few minutes later, they reached Allentown. Chief Brown opened the door as though he merely wanted to stretch his legs. All at once, he was around by the back door. He had his pistol out and pointed the muzzle at the hitchhiker. We missed your partners, but we've got you, he said grimly, and you'll have to tell us all we need to know about the holdup. So, how did an encyclopedia know the hitchhiker was a member of the hold-up gang? In my opinion, this is one of the easier ones. I think I have it figured out. What about you? How did Encyclopedia know that this hitchhiker was part of the gang? I'll give you a hint. He didn't know until he had the sweet chocolate. Any guesses about how he knew? You guys figure it out? Go ahead and leave a comment if you think you know. I'll give you a few seconds here. I also have a ladybug about to crawl on me. Look it. I don't know if you can see him. Yeah. Ladybug. So cool. Did you figure it out? Cadbury bunny tattoo? What does that have to do with anything? He had a bunny tattoo, so he had to have been... Nah, I don't think so. I don't think that's on the right track. I think it had to do something about it being the chocolate bar. It was 93 degrees outside, and the hitchhiker claimed that he had been outside for an hour. What happens to chocolate when you've been outside for so long? I think you guys know it would melt. Was this chocolate bar melted? No way, Jose. So let's turn to page 91. Oh my gosh, this ladybug is tickling me. 91. Oh no, he's on my keyboard. That's okay. That's probably a good spot. All right, here we go. Solution. The hitchhiker made his mistake by trying to be friendly. He never should have given the boy detective the chocolate bar. Encyclopedia had to break off 2 squares, which meant that the chocolate was hard. But the hitchhiker had said he was waiting at the crossroads for about an hour on a hot day when the temperature had reached 93 degrees. Had the hitchhiker been telling the truth, the chocolate bar would have melted in the heat. Instead of being hard, it would have been like soup. The hitchhiker could only have one reason for lying. He had been a member of the holdup gang who was left behind to direct pursuit away from the road that the getaway car had really taken. The fake hitchhiker confessed that he kept the knapsack in the air-conditioned getaway car till it was time for him to act out his part. The entire gang was quickly rounded up. Ooh, so were you able to figure that one out? Like I said, I thought that one was one of the easier ones. I hope you were able to figure it out as well. All right, Monday, we will be back with the case of the two-fisted poet. Interesting. All right, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy some sunshine, and we will be back on Monday to read our next case. Goodbye from Mr. Ladybug and I. Bye, guys.